wins.
I win again.
Whatever. What do you want to do today? Are Mom and Dad up yet?
I didn't hear them moving around upstairs at all.
Sophia's probably in the family room watching Spirit Stallion and the Cimarron for the millionth time, so we can't do anything in there.
Want to just watch some cartoons?
Yeah, I'm gonna go grab some cereal. Just put something on.
Okay, let's check out this new show, Gatecrashers?
Welcome to Gatecrashers, a podcast dedicated to kicking open the door to your next favorite thing. Our mission, our creed, and our code is this: to make all things more approachable and accessible to everyone. We want you to find a universe that you'll fall in love with. My name is Dan, and I use he, him pronouns.
I'm Jake. I also use he, him pronouns.
Jake, I got a question for you. Let's say every single channel from when we were kids. Let's go Fox Kids, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon. Are there any others?
WB Kids.
WB Kids.
Cinemax.
Fuck. So all of them except Cinemax.
Whoa, what are you talking about?
What
are you talking about? Right after Happy Feet turned off, weird porn turned on.
Damn it. All right, so Fox Kids, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and WB Kids. Each of them is their own fighting roster. So each of them is like a gang. Imagine this as like the news team war in Anchorman. Who wins?
I mean, WB Kids had it, which was eventually just folded into Cartoon Network stuff. I mean, they had, Animaniacs. They could do anything. They could hit you with a hammer and just kill you.
Didn't Batman start on Fox Kids?
Yeah, but then he went to WB.
Well, we're not talking about that. We're talking about where they started is what we're going with. So Fox Kids also had Power Rangers, right?
Yes.
So they had Power Rangers and Batman. Cartoon Network had all the cartoons. They had Dexter, so they've got that in their wheelhouse. Realistically, who wins in a fight? To the death.
Ed.
I'm going to put my money on Fox Kids, honestly.
That's pretty good. It's a pretty solid choice. Yeah. I'd probably say Fox Kids.
All right. Well, welcome to Gatecrashers. This week, Jake and I are talking about cartoons from our childhood. We had a scheduling mishap, so this is as close to the wire as we've ever gotten with recording an episode. So we threw caution to the wind and our format and are just going to be talking about some of our favorite episodes of cartoons from our youths that shaped who we are. This is a very wild list. Every single one of these is kind of deranged in their own way, except Spider-Man, which is probably the most normal. Yeah, so thanks for being here. This one's going to be a little bit different. Jake, where do you want to start? Well, let's start here. What's your favorite cereal?
My favorite.
Like if you're sitting down and you're going to watch all this, what's the cereal you're breaking at?
Probably Captain Crunch Berries because it's gonna cut up my mouth.
want that little fucking captain to come in here with his sword and scratch the absolute fuck out of the roof of my mouth.
Yeah. No pain, no gain. Am I right, people?
Is it him like crawling into your mouth and scraping it up? Is he that
fun
tiny?
Fact, it's the lies that he tells because he's actually an admiral.
He's a little fucking liar, then.
He's a little liar, but he's a military liar. What other secrets is the military keeping from us, people? I mean, sheeple.
Fuck. God damn it. That's the turn we're taking. That's where we're becoming. We're becoming a serial conspiracy podcast.
I mean, we can start talking with the episode, the show that had cereal in it.
What episode had cereal in it?
I'm glad you asked.
Oh my God.
The
Now I
day
remember.
Ed stood still from Ed, Ed, and Eddy.
I fucking hated Ed, Ed, and Eddy growing up.
You did.
Hated that
It's
show.
so good.
It is wild. I watched it last night. Absolutely wild that show was on television. Oh, wait, before we get into the actual episode, did you watch the episode I sent you today?
No, I didn't. That cursed thing you sent me.
Why didn't you watch it? It's Meat Canyon. You got to watch it. It's about jawbreakers.
I was at work.
No, it's fine. You can show it to your coworkers. They'll like it. So essentially,
boss,
they have a new
watch this.
scheme where they're trying to get, what's the mean kid's name?
Which one?
The bully with the backwards hat.
Kevin.
Because he's cool. Kevin. They get Kevin to go into the garage because they're going to help him see God because he paid 25 cents. And I think, what's the tall one? That's Eddy, right? No, that's Ed. Ed rips his jaw off. And like they're a cult, and they like, yeah, it's awesome. You should really watch it. It's a good episode of Ed, Ed, and Eddy that is 100% canon.
I mean,
so back to this Ed, Ed, and Eddy. You were a big fan of this growing up.
Yes, I was.
I remember.
Yes, I loved it.
What did you like about this show, Jake? Because it is.
It's so fucking stupid. I loved it.
Oh, it is. You texted me. And you said it's a really good Three Stooges. Or you said it's very slapstick, and the whole time I was thinking with the Three Stooges, and I was like, oh,
yeah,
now I get it. I was like,
yeah,
that's where the Workaholics group came from. That's where this came from. Like all of that goes back to the Three Stooges.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's slapstick. But like, it has its direction, but its direction of three guys wanting to scam people so they can get candy is so versatile.
What? Do you like Jawbreaker? Have you ever had a Jawbreaker?
Yes, I have.
They're not great.
No, they're not. They're just sugar.
It's just a sugar.
If I want like a spherical candy that was pretty much just sugar, I'd go for an atomic fireball.
Those are the hot ones.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever had one of those.
They're delicious. Today, one of my coworkers, a 75-year-old man, to thank me for getting him something, he gave me a whole pack of Big Red gum.
Oh, if you don't chew Big Red gum, then fuck you.
Yep.
I actually really like Big Red gum.
That's pretty much what Atomic Fireball is, but like times 7.
I don't know where this pack. I was eating this gum that had crystals in it. Not like real crystals, but like flavor crystals. Well, you never know. It could have been real crystals too. I'm just chomping down on emeralds.
That was
or
probably
rubies.
made in a very shady basement that exploded.
That's fine. That's why I'm gonna have.
So wait, hold on.
Gonna be an odd one.
If someone chews this gum with crystals, do you think it gives them good vibes?
I like it. I'm a big fan of the crystal gum.
All right, that confirms all my suspicions about crystal gum and Dan.
Ed and Eddy, let's go back to this episode. Why don't you explain what happens in this episode a little bit? Because I wasn't expecting this.
Oh God, they're always just looking for a scam, but this time, it was Ed's idea. They let Ed have an idea, and he just.
And what was his idea, Jake?
Huh?
What was his idea, Jake?
Oh, to become a monster. And
how'd that go for the neighborhood?
He reenacts Alien.
Yeah.
And he kidnaps all the kids.
There is at one point where he is in this horrible monster costume. He hunts them down, takes them to the basement, and chews up cereal and like sticks them to the wall in it. It is horrifying. And it's just like, what? Why? Why is this a kid show? All of these shows, rewatching them now as an adult, I'm like, what? Why were kids allowed to just like, why was this like what Cartoon Network was going for? They're like, yeah, that's good enough. Kids love this shit.
You'd be surprised at how wild the turn is for Ed and Eddy. I mean, at one point, it all becomes about how, because Eddy likes to brag about his older brother, and it turns out he just wanted people to like him. And it gets really, really depressing, especially when you find out his brother's just a fucking loser.
What, you meet his brother?
Yeah, in a movie.
There's an Ed and Eddy movie?
Yeah, dude.
Nah.
Yeah. Wow, let me look it up.
Hold on, looking it up. Wow, Big Picture Show. I cannot believe. Was it a made-for-TV movie?
Yes.
Huh. What did the creator of the show go on to do? Yeah, he looks like the kind of guy who would create this show.
He was a
What else
writer
did he
for... Oh, wait, no, I'm thinking of somebody else.
Richie Rich. He was an animator for Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah, most of these people were. Oh, yeah, no, he definitely looks like somebody who created it.
He looks like the guy who made Eddy. Wow, I did not know this. I guess it was a big show, but like it was never one I never liked. I just did not like it. I think this was like, if we're going with like Cartoon Network, there was like the Dexter's Lab generation, and then like there was Ed, Edd and Eddy. What was on at the same time as Ed, Edd and Eddy?
What came out? What was Cartoon Network's lineup in 1999? Cartoon Network 1999.
This is a good content you come to
Line up.
I think it was this. Is this the same time as SpongeBob?
Courage the Cowardly Dog. I think SpongeBob did come out. When did SpongeBob come out?
It was on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
But you know what? And you'd think I'd love Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yo,
I think I was.
That scared the piss out of me as a kid.
I think I was. You're 3 years younger than me, so I think I missed most of these shows because I was I don't know, above it, but like Courage the Cowardly Dog seems like something I would love, but I just did not care for it as a kid.
No.
Maybe I should rewatch that now.
Honestly, this was something about this was the same thing how I felt about Ben 10. Like I felt that was above it, and then I went to it later, and I was like, oh, this is actually really good. That's why Ben 10's also on this list.
Yeah, I think my generation, but like when I was like
Filthy
watching
millennial.
these cartoons, it was mostly Dexter's Laboratory, Cow and Chicken. I watched a lot of Angry Beavers. I liked that show a lot.
I remember leveling Secret Squirrel and SWAT Cats.
Yeah, I don't know where was that on Boomerang?
Secret Squirrel?
Yeah.
No, it was
Oh, I remember Secret Squirrel's got the trench coat and the purple hat.
Yes. And I think he actually came back at some point. But like that would
Wasn't he in the Hanna-Barbera
yes.
DC thing?
Yes. So it would come in the Adam and Ants and Secret Squirrel, but I think it came back and was a part of something else. It's Two Stupid Dogs.
Oh my God, Two Stupid Dogs. That was a show.
Yes. That was
Damn.
TBS.
Wow.
And then came to...
What? It was, wait, really?
Yeah, it was on TBS.
Well, that's owned by Warner, so it's like not a huge surprise. Yeah, but this Ed, Edd and Eddy episode, Ed basically kidnaps all the kids in the neighborhood, and instead of solving it, they just kind of run. They're like, "Ooh, Ed did bad."
They left everyone in the basement.
Yeah, they just left them because they were like, "Yeah, it'll dry eventually, and they'll get out." They left.
Eddie has a stash under his bed to hide when the heat's on.
Oh, we didn't say you can get this on HBO Max. That's where most of these are. The problem with HBO Max is it didn't have the shows I wanted to watch.
Yeah, they didn't have any of the Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
Yeah, where are those at? Because it was my choice. So we would have watched Johnny Bravo.
Yeah,
I love Johnny Bravo. Hoo ha hoo, man, I'm pretty. What a great television program for kids.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Ed and Eddy wasn't as bad as I like their dynamic. I like that. So I watched both episodes in the episode, and you only watched the one. I didn't realize I could.
For what?
For the day the Ed stood still.
Oh no, I watched both of them. I only took notes for the first.
Okay. So the other one, they basically use Ed's sister's
money,
lunch money.
Yeah, because she wanted Ed to go buy him fudge, and they all spend it on Jawbreakers.
Which is hilarious because Ed, 2 Ds, just has like a meltdown
double
over it.
D,
He's like pontificating. Dude. Oh, double D. Is pontificating on like remorse and trust. And I'm sitting here like, wow, this is really well written. It's like actually very out of like not out of character for that character, but out of character for the show. And Ed goes, whew, who writes this guy's lines?
Yeah.
And I was like, they do a lot of fourth wall breaking, but not.
The show's a lot smarter than you would think upon first inspection. Yeah. Which is why I think out of all the shows that we watch, I think it probably aged better than most. For me. Like, I think it aged a lot better than Chowder.
I really liked Chowder.
I did. I loved Chowder. Granted, I watched it when it came out, and then I watched it again late high school, and I was like, oh, this isn't as good as I remember. And I watched it, I'm like, no, this is pretty good.
I think I was again older, so I didn't watch as much Chowder. I've seen a bunch of episodes. But the thing about Chowder that I like the most is that
art style. Yeah,
the art style when they move their fabric, but their the design of their fabric of their clothing moves with them. It's very weird.
There's only one other thing I can think of that does that like consistently that I've seen, and that was a anime adaptation of The Count of Monte Cristo. And oh yeah, I excluded all the anime that I watched as a child. Like I don't need people knowing that in the second grade I watched Case Closed and watched a man jump off a chair and then stab himself in the back to blame his lover for murder.
Yeah, and we can save those. We try to do things we probably won't cover a ton on the show, but there is one of these on here that we are going to cover for a full episode. And I also avoided Batman the Animated Series because any chance I get, I talk about that on the show. But okay, so Chowder. We watched the Froggy Apple Crumple Thumpkin,
which is the pilot,
which is the pilot, and Chowder's girlfriend.
And on HBO Max, these are listed as episode 2 because some reason that's how. Sometimes the pilot won't be shown first in like television order and things like that, or
Cartoon Network is so weird about that.
Well, the one I was thinking about in comparison was Firefly, because the pilot episode of that was the train episode, and that wasn't shown until episode 7.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Huh.
Or no, it was listed as episode 7, and it was shown first. I can't remember the order of that, but it was all done out of order. Yeah.
So
Chowder.
Chowder is about, from what I understand, Chowder is about, he's like an apprentice to a famous cook.
Yes, and also he's a cat, bear, rabbit.
What?
Yeah, he's a cat, bear, rabbit. You know what?
I didn't know.
You know what Schnitzel is?
No.
A rock monster. Rada rada.
The Robble Robble guy is a rock monster?
Rada. Yes, he's a rock monster.
What?
Eh?
What?
I don't know what Mangal is supposed to be, though.
Is Mangal the
chef?
The
chef.
He's so fucking funny. When he was like, he was doing the hypothetical, like, well, what if someone liked you? And he goes, someone likes me? He's so funny.
He's so vain.
He has one of those my wife jokes, and the wife hits him over the head. What's his wife's name?
Hold on.
Not Petunia.
I just had it pulled up.
God, she hits him and he says her name really loud. It was very fun. I was like, I like the show a lot more than I remember. Truffles?
Truffles. Yeah. She's a fairy or a pixie of some sort.
But yeah, it makes sense. Total sense. The first episode, they're making they're making a Froggy Apple Crumple Thumpkin. And Chowder kind of he comes in after going grocery shopping. And they're like, that can't be all the groceries. I had a little snack on the way back. This man throws up an entire grocery store worth of items. And they use it to cook with.
He throws up the milk. right into their faces.
I really love that the cartoon broke anime. It was like, no, we're not going to animate this anymore. We're going to make it claymation for a second. And they like claymate like the food, which is like 1,000 little toad arms on a piece of meat.
And the credits are always puppets.
And the puppets. It's so weird. The whole show is weird.
It's also one of the only shows that I can think of other than, I think, Avatar, where the lead character is a young boy character, and is voiced by a young boy.
Oh yeah, you can tell too. He's got like a very cute little voice.
Yeah.
He's.
I mean, him and Finn the human from Adventure Time are both that, and you can hear them as they get older throughout the show.
How many seasons did it go for?
For Chowder? 3.
Huh.
Yeah. And then hold on. He Chowder will just eat anything. You there?
Yeah, he's sorry. I'm looking at pictures of Chowder. The whole show's design is just so weird, and I'm like kind of enthralled with it.
Oh yeah,
like it's
out there.
I really like that. I really like this show. Maybe I should have watched it more.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna watch it now, to be honest. But
with what time? What time would you have to watch it anyway?
Yeah, exactly. Where would I watch it?
I mean, you could turn it on while you do other stuff. I mean, it doesn't take a lot of brain power to enjoy it.
Yeah, I could.
I mean, if you wanted to commit your brain
with watching things in the background. Huh? I have such a problem watching things in the background.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I mean, it's very much it. See, I think with these cartoons is you can enjoy them both with no brain power, still get the bare enjoyment that you got as a child, or you can listen.
Yeah. Oh, well, I want to talk about the score of all, like the themes and the music of all of them at the end, because it is so important to cartoons. And I've been thinking about it a lot more because you'll never watch it, but The Boys Diabolical. They did an episode, which is a Looney Tunes episode essentially, but set in the boys' world, which is cool enough for me on its own that it's a Garth Ennis thing where I get to see a Looney Tunes in that world. But they went so far as to get the composers for Animaniacs, and they did a bunch of the newer Looney Tunes stuff and Pinky and the Brain. So they got some of the composers. So music is so important to cartoons because that's primarily what it started with things like Looney Tunes. And like the term Mickey Mousing, like, and it's a musical term. So like, let's say I take a step and the music goes dun, and I take another step, it's like dun, and then another one dun 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 dun. Dun. That's called Mickey Mousing, when you mimic what's going on screen with the music. And in these cartoons, they do it a lot, and it's really well done. It's just something I've been thinking about a lot. But yeah, Chowder was an experience. I didn't, the girlfriend episode where he like goes out of his way to try to break up with this girl and he cannot figure out how, because she like finds it so nice that he's like doing all these things for her. And then he like puts on a musical that I'm not your boyfriend.
I'm not your boyfriend. Panini. Star of Lil Nas X's music video, Panini.
Was I written about it?
I have no idea.
They have a Chowder music video. You've seen that, right?
Yes.
Looking it up, so I can just look at pictures of it. Yeah, but that one, Chowder is a show I'd like to see come back, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of shows. There's only a few shows that I'd like to see come back. That would be one of them. That would be a good thing to see. I mean, they've done a Future episode where Chowder's an adult and he's like married to Panini.
Oh, so he does.
Yeah.
But
here's the thing. He's tall, but he still has the same shirt.
Wait, really? Yeah.
Look up Grown Up Chowder. Nope, never mind. Don't do that. It's probably going to give them some weird results.
I was trying to... So, with our cover photo, I was trying to make it look like everybody was jumping into a pool, but it was milk. Don't Google anything related to anything ever. Just don't even use the internet. Log off, read books, read encyclopedias that you find in your basement. Don't ever Google ever. Just don't. It's not worth it. Not worth your time. It's not worth your sanity.
What did you find?
I don't want to talk about it. We're gonna move on to the next show. Ben 10.
Ben 10.
I know you have you watched all of Ben 10?
I did in high school, I think.
But like, have you watched all the recent stuff too?
No, I haven't watched the reboot.
Oh, okay.
I watched.
Wait, it's a reboot?
Yeah. The new one?
Oh, I didn't know that was a reboot.
It's a reboot of the original.
I heard you're a bigger fan of the live action than anything else.
No.
You're a big Ben 10 reboot fan, I think.
No.
I like the grandpa a lot, I figured out.
Oh, yeah. They also, I mean, I was surprised at how much they let on to his past, even in the first episode. Which, how much Ben 10 have you seen? Did I make you watch any Alien Force, which is where I think I got into it?
I've watched the Steve Orlando written ones.
Steve Orlando, friend of the show.
Yeah. Watch the Steve Orlando ones.
Yeah. Quality content.
What is Grandpa's backstory? Was he like a war criminal or something? Or you gonna tell me that Grandpa was like horrible or something?
He was a plumber, which is code for kind of like
Men in Black?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Was he like a cool secret agent, Grandpa?
So it kind of changes. On the first series, it's kind of strict. The first two shows, it's kind of strictly like, oh yeah, it's an earthbound organization of people who deal like with things like not I wouldn't say necessarily Men in Black style, maybe somewhere between Men in Black and Ghostbusters.
He gets a robot arm.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah. And then it expands to like a big interstellar organization of like kind of like space cops.
Huh.
But yeah, Grandpa Max got married to an alien.
Why? I googled Grandpa Max because I wanted to see.
Why? Why would you Google anything? You just got done You just finished saying to the people, don't Google anything. Don't Google anything. What is wrong with you, man?
It's horrible. Why? Why did someone draw that? I mean, whatever makes you happy. But
is it him clapping the alien? His wife, his ex-wife's alien cheeks?
People want to fuck Grandpa from Ben 10.
Oh no,
Grandpa Max.
Oh
no. All right, back to the show.
This might not make it to air, and not just because Spotify's down right now.
Nah, it'll be all right. We'll figure it out. It's fine.
Spotify, please let me back in my account. Please.
This is gonna be the most unhinged episode.
I took guys. I'm a little run down, so I was watching one of the shows and I kind of fell asleep, and I woke up 15 minutes later into the next episode. I was like, oh no, I gotta go back and watch the second part of the one episode.
Yeah, I did with Ben 10 yesterday. I fell asleep and I woke back up. I was on like episode 8, and I was like, oh god, where am I?
You fell asleep for that long? I only fell asleep halfway through the Invader Zim episode and woke up halfway through the next episode.
Yeah. I am pretty run down. All right, so next up are my episodes. Let's start with Spider-Man. So for Spider-Man, we watched The Mutant Agenda. So before we get into it, I chose this episode because it also has the X-Men. I watched a lot of Spider-Man and X-Men animated series growing up. It's probably why I'm so into comics. I mean, there's plenty of reasons, but that's the reason I like these characters so much. This show is actually pretty good, honestly. Like, Spider-Man comes to the X-Men for help because this is when he's... Oh, you can see it on Disney+. This is when he's mutating and becoming a Spider-Man, literally. A man-spider, if you will, if you want to use the vernacular of the Batman.
I think he actually was called Man-Spider. That
was he Man-Spider?
I don't know.
Hot. But
hey, you guys want to be fondled by multiple arms?
Google it.
No. Fondled by Man-Spider.
Oh, you could write that AU. It's just you and Man-Spider, and you've been married for like 4 years. You have little Man-Spider, baby spiders.
Spiders, man. That's
What
a great character.
What a
great
character.
concept. It's just Spider-Man, but instead of Peter Parker under it, it's just a bunch of spiders that think they're Peter Parker.
So Spider-Man basically goes to help from the X-Men, and they're like, "Nah, we can't help you. We're not trying to cure mutantdom." And Spider-Man's a mutate, not a mutant. Beast is. It's fine. Beast is Beast. But basically, Spider-Man walks out. He goes, "I can save the Earth 1,000,000 times, and anytime I need help, nobody's there." And that's a core part of Spider-Man. Poor dude can never catch a break.
Yeah.
I am surrounded by 90 Spider-Man figures right now because that's all I've been like trying to figure out how to pose these things better so I can build not like a bookshelf, but like a case and build not a monument, like a
monument to 90s Spider-Man radioactive spider blood. He's going to irradiate some spiders and then squish them.
No, what the shit is it called when you build? Oh, a diorama. I'm gonna build like a little scene.
A diorama.
Put it in like
a diorama.
A little diorama. Put it in a case so I can display it. I'm gonna do that with Spider-Man and Rogue One.
Well, I mean, all you have to do for Rogue One is just put a bunch of sand in the thing.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking about doing the sand scene and like on the beach.
No, just sand.
No, it would be glass at that point.
Space dust.
The plane doesn't get blown up. It just gets destroyed. I don't think the SR is fully operational at that point.
They dead.
Oh, they are dead.
You don't need any action figures to do this.
Just one with just a bunch of like broken pieces of rock. Okay, so Spider-Man: The Mutant Agenda. I think this show actually holds up better than I thought it would because I know X-Men isn't that great. If you go back and watch that,
there's parts of Spider-Man that are good still, and then there's parts of it that are.
I really like the Green Goblin, the Hobgoblin.
I think the problem with with Spider-Man for me is that it's like chapters of like a long story instead of like.
I like that though.
Yeah, I mean, it's just easier to consume for my brain if there's superheroes or monsters of the week.
Yeah, well, I mean, Batman was kind of like that, but Batman also had like a lot more going on than these shows did.
Black Paper, right?
Yeah, but they were
Did
also
we not
like
talk
stories
about
like tragedy.
Did
What?
we not?
Yeah, we've talked about that.
Black Paper.
Something.
Oh, so I love. There's a thing about the show that I do just love more than, and I want it in every other Spider-Man thing. There are certain visuals like Spider Sense, where like the world like inverts color.
Oh yeah,
and like pulsates. Granted, you can't really do that in comics unless you do like a holographic page, which Marvel don't do that. That's just a waste of money. And then you're gonna stoke the collector's market and be like, "Hey guys, what do you speculators want this time?" And then you're gonna collapse the market again and almost get bankrupt.
They did that in they did that.
Yeah, they did.
They also
that.
did that inverted thing in Spider-Verse. Peter B. Parker's Spider Sense does that.
Yeah. And then there's Venom.
Oil Venom?
Oil Venom. Venom should always be highlighted with blue and red. Never white, never gray. Blue and red. He needs to look like sludge.
God, I'm
Colorists, take note.
I'm looking at these pictures of Spider-Man. God, the visuals of the show were great. The designs were awesome. Everyone looks great.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd like that Doc Ock suit back. Like, I don't really care for anything he's been in recently. I think it's a great suit.
You don't like the gray suit? The gray onesie? Gray Spider-Man onesie?
No.
With the squid? The squid logo?
No. I like the armor.
You like the
Wait, what squid logo?
The octopus logo. The green one.
The Hydra one?
Yeah, the Hydra one.
He hasn't worn that in years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's back in a regular body.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's not in the Peter clone anymore.
Well, that wasn't just a Peter clone. That was a Peter Otto hybrid clone.
Yeah, hybrid. Yeah, but he lost that and all of his memories.
So he doesn't remember the love of his life?
Nope. Doesn't remember anything from... does not remember anything.
Well, take that, Dan Slott.
Sinister. Sorry, Superior. No, it's really sad because that's what the series is about right now. When I interviewed Zach Thompson about his series, he like said it to me, and I didn't realize it because I hadn't gotten a chance to finish the Gauge run, and I was like, oh, that's really sad. He like all the empathy he learned and stuff he lost, but Hobgoblin was the bad guy for these episodes, which is. So until recently, I had no idea that Hobgoblin was voiced by Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah, it's real weird when you think about it. Like, oh yeah, Mark Hamill.
That he's voicing him and the Joker at the same time.
And they sound remarkably similar.
Yeah. Well, one stood the test of time.
Yeah.
I actually have the Hobgoblin in here. Have you seen this one? He looks sick.
I mean, if you had your camera on, I'd be able to tell. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm turning it on. Turning it on. And the listeners at home can't see this, but also, if you want a picture of it, just send me an email at gatecrasherspod.
Say, let me see that hobgobby. It blurred out. It blurred out. There he is. There he is.
Look at him. He looks good. He's a great figure. I love these retro figures. They're really well colored. Except the Shocker didn't have lines on it, so I added the lines to it.
Piping.
But honestly, I probably won't go back and watch Spiderman, but it's not like it's good. But it's like, again, as you're saying, I can't just go back and watch one single episode rather than watching
the whole thing,
like a bunch of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody got that time. I gotta watch Euphoria.
Oh, you haven't started that
yet?
No,
I've been meaning to, but we've been crunching episodes.
Wow. Damn. We have another one on Saturday.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah? We're going to sing the theme song.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Next up is probably one of my favorite shows from my youth, Invader Zim. And we watched Germs and Dark Harvest. I don't think you liked the show too much growing up. What did you think of it watching it today?
I don't think I'm going to go back and watch all of it, but it was pretty good. Dude legit just steals organs.
It's horrifying.
It's horrifying. It is.
So the first episode, Germs, is literally about him being afraid of germs. So it's a play on War of the Worlds, where Gur and him watch. We're going to talk about Gur in a second. Gur and him watch War of the Worlds, and he's like petrified of germs.
I love you.
The whole episode is just him killing germs. And then the second episode starts and it's about him stealing other kids' organs at school. As if that's not full of germs. It is so funny.
Puts them inside himself.
Horrifying.
He swallows all those organs.
It is so funny. Like, he's like replacing kids' organs with random shit. What's he do? He replaces one person's brain with
can of
the can of soda, and she like pours the soda out of her mouth. It is absolutely wild.
Yeah, no, it's smart. It's smart in the way it was handling that. And what did Dib have? He had the moo can that that woman was using. What did it replace? Was it his lung? It was his lung or what?
I can't remember what organ he replaced. Which again,
I love that Dib's sister
that we're talking
had
about
her, I guess, appendix changed with her like video game, and she's still playing it through her skin.
Her Game Boy.
Yeah.
God, it's such a fun. Everything about this show is horrifying. Like the hallways are terrifying.
Yeah, it's
like there's a pipe in the middle of the hallway that just says "hot" next to it. Like the way they design everything is just a nightmare.
Yeah, I can see why it didn't last as long as say SpongeBob, which was its like contemporary,
which is so funny to think.
Yeah,
like that these shows were at the same time.
Invader Zim, you had to have, there was some level of cynicism that you had to have as a child.
Yeah, it came back though.
It did.
Like it was a movie.
Yeah,
I think there's supposed to be more one day, but
yeah, they also did. What was it? Rocko's Modern Life. Came back.
They did, which was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
I liked the Zim movie
trans
too.
character, didn't it?
Yep. I cannot remember the character's name.
It was the neighbor's kid, right?
The neighbor's kid. Not the turtle. It's
the frog.
I don't know what. Yes. There's like some really big voice actors in this too.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people. Do you know Dib was a producer for Psych? Yeah,
Wild.
and Zim himself was Billy from Billy and Mandy. He was Daggett Doofus Beaver from Angry Beavers. Like he's been in a lot of stuff.
Billy and Mandy was great too. Especially, I mean, this was back in the day when when these shows like had pilots, they'd have like a second show with them.
Oh, Evil Con Carne.
Evil Con Carne
was
Billy and Mandy.
the other show with Billy and Mandy.
Yeah.
With a bear with the brain. Yeah. No, but Invader Zim, like everything about it was just like super dark. And I honestly, I'll go ahead and say it, but I think that has a lot to do with why Hot Topic became so popular.
Gurr was a big thing in the scene kid community.
100%.
I
love Gurr.
confirm this as a former scene kid.
Gurr is so funny.
I love you, Piggy. I love you. That was my favorite part as a kid. It was Gurr.
I love the Doom song.
Doom, 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 doom.
In the Germs episode, when he comes home and he goes, "Bye, pig," and closes the door, like a pig on a motorcycle had just taken him out to dinner, I guess. It's just,
I think that might have been a cop.
Oh.
It was either a he was talking to the motorcycle because it's a hog, or was a cop.
That's hilarious.
And then he carries a pig in the house. He said, "Oh, let's go, Piggy. Let's go to my room."
He's such a weird,
but
it's just a weird show. Yeah, everything about the show doesn't change.
Yeah,
I love. We should try to get Jonan Vasquez on the show. Sorry, that's a for me thing. It's just what is it? Like things like at one point Zim calls his people like his leaders, and these people send him to Earth because they hate him. They hate him.
And in this episode, they were just terrified of him.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh my god,
were you scared?"
They're so.
And they gave him
those
Gurr
two
because
are
Gurr is
hilarious.
deficient.
Yeah, God, Gurr is one of those things. It's just like when I was in middle school, every single girl
had a Gurr
Gurr sticker, sweatshirt, pajama pants, lots,
backpack, mini backpacks.
Oh my god, I remember this.
Scene kids. That MySpace era.
Yeah. Yeah, this is right around the MySpace, like when that was really big.
Uh-huh.
Huh.
Shoes.
Oh my god, shoes. So
Smosh had not yet made it to living consistently off of their videos.
Yeah, not this is like right when the internet was like when the internet was starting, when Al Gore's internet was starting. This is when it got really popular.
Al Gore's internet. Oh man, we could have talked about South Park.
Yeah, probably not.
Randy
God,
started
I'm just looking
COVID.
at this. I'm just looking at this guy's.
You're just looking at that guy's
Twitter. No, at his Twitter, he's still the same person. He still draws these horrifying little monsters. What the fuck? These are incredible. All right, sorry. Now let's talk about the final thing, which I think is probably one of my favorite 25 minutes of animation of all time. The Simpsons Marge versus the Monorail. Now, the reason we are doing the Simpsons
season 4 was a big season.
We're not going to talk about a ton of Simpsons stuff. And the reason we're not going to talk a ton of it is because we are going to cover it. We're going to do an episode on it because The Simpsons is probably one of my favorite shows of all time. Like, I used to watch The Simpsons every single day. I watched it at 6 o'clock and then I watched it again at 7. Now, there's a story that goes along with this.
He'd also beat me up in between episodes.
I fucking hate That 70s Show.
Correct.
Fuck, hate it. I'll never watch it. I'll never accept watching it. I won't I hate it. The reason I hate it is because it would come on at 6:30 between two episodes of The Simpsons. So I had to wait for that to be over to then watch that. But then after that was Seinfeld, which I watched every so often. But we watched Marge versus the Monorail, which is one of the best animation things of all time. I think I watched this with Scarlett recently. She never really watched The Simpsons, so this is her first real episode.
Weird.
Loved
That's
it.
weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I've never seen Jackass either.
See, no. That's more acceptable because that was very much a very specific time period, and it was a very gendered thing. I don't think The Simpsons was as much.
Yeah, I think. It was at the time, but now Jackass is absolutely everyone watches it.
Jackass is awesome. If you don't watch Jackass, what are you fucking doing?
I'd love to do a Jackass episode, but 100% it would be.
We're gonna watch that this weekend.
We have to get insurance for the show if we're gonna do it. Because I wouldn't do a Jackass episode without actually doing Jackass.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna do it, and I'm not
shit out of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna put Ethan in a shopping cart, and I'm gonna push it as hard as I can down a hill. There's no way around that.
Well, no. We're gonna push it into a exhibit at the zoo. Alligators,
not
preferably.
one. So this episode, basically, have you ever seen The Music Man, Jake?
That's that episode of Batman that we talked about.
Yeah. A grifter basically comes to town and tries to sell the town on something. And in this episode, it's a monorail, which is a terrible idea for such a small town. And Lisa points it out. And the guy is like, you wouldn't want to hear the answers. Only you're smart enough to understand. And not even your teacher. He's hilarious. But do you know who wrote this episode?
No, who did?
Conan O'Brien.
That makes sense. This is very Conan O'Brien, and I like it.
I love Conan O'Brien.
He's great.
He was a big Simpsons. I think season 4 is his biggest season of The Simpsons.
Oh, yeah.
What else happened in season 4 of The Simpsons? That's
Mr. Plow.
Mr. Plow. There's a ton of hits now.
Yeah.
Something The Simpsons is it's enduring. There's a lot of bad stuff in The Simpsons. The way Homer abuses Bart. But you can the difference between Family Guy and this to me is that Homer actually loves his family.
Yeah.
He does everything for them.
He never really.
You can see that.
Anytime you see any resentment, it's a joke.
Yeah. Oh my god. The fucking scene where Officer God, how am I gonna forget the police officer's name? Oh my god. Quimby. No, that's Mayor Quimby.
Oh yeah, Mayor Quimby. Oh shit. Wiggum.
Chief Wiggum, and because Mayor Quimby comes in, and him. I've never seen any other Simpsons scene where they are so
at each other's
throats. He's like, "I'll release those pictures." He goes, "That butt could have been anyone's." I'm like, "What the shit?" It is a wonderful episode of the show because it starts with Montgomery Burns and
there's a Batman moment.
Oh my god. Homer, someone's here to help you. Is it Batman? No. Oh, it's a scientist. Batman's a scientist.
No, not that. Not that Batman moment. I'm talking about Burns in the courtroom.
What does he do? Oh, the
grapple hook.
Yeah, he grapple hooks out. God.
I love how he's wheeled in. Oh wait, no, that's not the courtroom. That's the town meeting. In the courtroom, he's wheeled in like he's a Hannibal Lecter. And that's a consistent thing that happens to him anytime he goes to a courtroom.
And then the grifter is Lyle Laney, played by the late Phil Hartman, and he is so funny. His voice acting in the show was incredible. He also voiced. I want to say he voiced Troy McClure, but I could be wrong.
I think you're right.
God, the Simpsons Film Festival where they did he was Troy McClure. The Simpsons Film Festival where there's all these really well made films and there's one video of Hans Moleman getting kicked in the nuts with a football. God damn. The Simpsons episode is going to be one of those episodes where it's going to suck for whoever's guest hosting with me whoever is just the other person, because it's just going to be me talking for 4 hours. I don't think I've watched anything as much as I've watched The Simpsons.
Well, I mean, that's an easy thing to do. There's nothing that it has as much as The Simpsons.
Dude, it's American Doctor Who.
It is, but more like, you know, it never got canceled
because it didn't get canceled. Oh, take that, Doctor Who.
Ethan, if you're gonna listen to this, which I don't know if you will, take that. Your whole country is just a Doctor Who set. That's Wales, people.
Jake, we have talked for 50 minutes.
This was supposed to be an easy one. This was supposed to be short.
This is easy.
No, I meant for you to edit.
Yeah, it'll be quick. I'm not editing any of the episodes. People are going to get this pure,
unhinged
energy the entire time.
If you want more episodes like this, just deprive us of both of sleep for 24 hours, and you'll see what happens.
Yeah. Maybe work for almost 3 weeks straight, and me decide to take a day off, and then once I do, everything falls apart.
I have a day off tomorrow, and it's going to be wonderful.
Oh, Leonard Nimoy's in this episode.
He teleports.
He just teleports. Oh, God. I'm probably going to edit this episode and then just go watch The Simpsons.
Hold on. Bart's complete disregard for human life. As he says, thanks for taking out all these innocent lives with us.
Oh my God. The scene where Marge is in the other town who just had a shitty experience with the monorail, and he's like, well, hopefully you have a good conductor. And it turns and it's Bart and Homer locked his fucking keys in the monorail. He goes, break the window. That cut is so good because Marge loves Homer, but she absolutely understands that he is an absolute fucking dumbass.
Because he's got a crown in his brain.
It is so funny because Bart, what does Bart say to him? I always thought you worked a dead-end job that would never get you anywhere. And Homer's like, oh, the youth of children. Homer's job is not easy to get.
No.
Homer's job is at a nuclear power plant.
And he's at a cushy job there.
Yeah. He, what is his actual position? I need to make sure I don't say this wrong. His actual position is... Holy shit, Homer's had so many jobs. He's a nuclear technician. Let's look and see what you have to do to become a nuclear technician. I think you probably have to go to school.
You have a crown in your brain. It makes you immune to radiation.
I don't know if you need a degree. Oh, he doesn't actually make that much. Huh.
No.
Huh. I thought you'd make more as a nuclear technician. That's kind of scary. That's sad.
How much is it?
In New Jersey, it's $52 a year. Which, I always assumed you make a lot more working in nuclear plant. Whatever.
But basically, Homer has a job. If he fucks ones where it's there's money here, but there was money here.
If he fucks up, the town's gone.
Yeah.
And we've seen it in other episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah, but
they were
really
dumping the waste in trees in the park.
Yeah, they were shoving
They were
shoving it into a tree,
into the holes of trees. And there's so many weird mutant animals in that show. The squirrel,
it's a great
with
show.
that frog tongue. Yeah.
Well, Jake, I'm glad we just had an episode where we just talked for an hour. This was actually a lot of fun. We probably should do weird things like this more.
This is all I want to do, is have weird episodes.
Yeah. Well,
unhinged episodes.
Well,
structureless episodes.
You can find us next week. We have an interview with a writer of a book. I cannot remember the name.
Unhinged.
I've done too much. I'm too far
gone.
Too far gone.
He's gonna wake up tomorrow and forget his name.
Not tomorrow.
Good night, everybody.
I'll get up and I'll go to work and I'll do the same thing over again. So, you can find us at gatecrashers.fan. You can find us on all social media at GateCrashersPod. And you can find us in your hearts. Hey, stay golden, and we'll see you next week.
It's the Gate Crashers.